just shot up, right up. And I actually really liked how it turned out. I think when I took it, I thought there would be more green visible, but I actually really like the contrast and it just being very dark and very light. This is the canopy, so it's very, very high. I really like this one. And this is one of my favorites. Then I have a picture of a friend and a picture of me and a friend during the trip. I won't show those. One picture that's not my favorite, and I have one that's similar, that's super pretty. So show that. This one. This is near Halong Bay. And it's so pretty. With the sun, the rays, and like, I know I spent a lot of time framing this one. Actually, I was thinking like, oh, do I need to have this one like this, have it end in the corner, or I don't know, I was doubting about it. I like the space between the mountains here. Between the mountains, the mountains, the mountains, the mountains, the mountains. Ooh, and my laptop wants to make some ASMR sounds as well. But I really like this one. This is also really one of my favorites. My favorites. It's really nice. Then next, we have a picture. I showed this to a friend today. She said it could basically be like a picture of your mom in the 80s because of the colors and my outfit. It's cute though. I like it. It's just, I don't know, just a quick picture of me with the view still in Halong Bay. Then I have another one in Halong Bay, and I knew this one was gonna be good when I took it. And it's very picturesque, I guess would be the word. It's just blue skies, blue waters, little boat, and the very typical Halong Bay islands. I think we slept at this spot actually. I did a 2-day cruise. We left from Katba Island, which is a great recommendation to leave from Katba Island instead of from Halong Bay because it's less touristy and it's pretty much the same nature. Yeah, but we swam here with a lot of signs that you weren't allowed to swim, so not the most legal, maybe. But we swam here and it was so pretty. I think this was like one of my favorite parts of the trip. After this, I went to another region. I think this was very near the caves. I said caves before maybe, but this was actually at the caves. I was with some friends I met at the pool of my hostel, and they were gonna see a cave, and I joined them. We stepped on the motorbike, or a scooter, I don't know. And one girl, her phone fell out of like the holder for the phone on the motorbike for the road. It was fine. It didn't have a scratch, but we stopped like on the middle of a bridge. It was a very wide bridge and there was a lot of room, and I don't know. If my mom watches this, I'm still alive. I've been safe enough apparently. But I really like the view with the setting sun. But I took it very quickly, and you see the railing here. I don't know if that's a word in English. The water here, and just the rice fields. So many rice fields. It's so pretty. So pretty, pretty, pretty. Then, just a boring picture. Like, it's fine, but a bit boring. And then of the same house, a very cool picture. Very cool, cool, cool. I like the perspective. And like the focus point of the camera is like right here, apparently. But it's so cool. I really like this. Is also one of my favorites. Really one of my favorites. This was in Heey. the same region, also in Heey, but it's at a tomb of one of the kings. So like this was the royal palace, and when they were buried they would like build their own tombs. This was one of the tombs. I think right after I took this picture I was like really proud that I found this like hidden tomb in the big tomb. Like it was a tomb of someone else, but they also had this one like hidden between the trees, and it was a bit off-road. And I turned around and I tripped over a pine cone, and I really badly scratched my knee, like it was bleeding and everything. And I went to some French family for a bit of help as I was alone. They gave me some water to clean it, and my Grab driver, at the time Grab is like Uber over there, my Grab driver, he was waiting for me outside of the thing. He convinced me to let him wait for him, and he was like angry that I took so long, and I was like pointing at my knee like this happened. That's why it took so long. I think you're okay. I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like he ripped me off a little bit, but then again, like if you're ripped off in Vietnam, it's not a lot of money for me. So getting ripped off is not that bad. It's like you're just sponsoring them, I guess. I don't know. I feel like if you're going on vacation in such a cheap place, it maybe even feels a bit like you're abusing the fact that your economy is stronger, because they're just people and you're just giving them money that for you is like a shitty amount, and then you're making an issue out of it if you're paying an amount that might actually be a bit closer to appropriate for what you would pay in your own country. Yeah, on the other hand, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, after I went to Hoi An. I went on a yoga retreat first, which was amazing. It was so nice. I had a lot of fun on the yoga retreat. After the yoga retreat, I went to a resort on the beach, and my boyfriend actually visited me, and it was super nice. We had a lot of fun, but this was at the beach at the first resort we stayed at. I'd been staying at hostels mostly up until then, so this was luxury. Now I have two pictures of him, so I won't show those. One picture in which you can't recognize him, but it's quite nice. Just him sitting on a big rock with him on top, and the sea. This was on Kham Island, Cham, Kham Island, Chum Island. I don't know. I think it was Kham, but it was the island near Hoi An. It was very nice. This was also on that island, and you had the monkeys. There were monkeys on Chum Island, Kham Island. I don't know. It was nice. It was nice to be on the island for a day. We actually wanted to go there for a night, but there was a storm for like 4 days while we were there, so there were no boats going. Anyways, he stayed for like a week and then he left again, and I went to Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, people know it as. That's the old name, in the south. And I took this picture and it failed miserably, but basically it's just the backlines of cars, of scooters, not of cars. Some cars maybe, but mostly scooters. And on like a big plaza, but you can't see it. Then, like during Ho Chi Minh, after Ho Chi Minh, doesn't really matter. I went to, what's it called? The Mekong Delta area, which is like, you have like a big river coming the sweet water, because there's always water or something, they can do like multiple shifts of fruit harvests, unlike the other regions, because there they are very dependent on the rainy season. Anyways, this picture is very, very dark, but it's in a market. Here you have two people on a scooter, and this is like the coverings of the market to keep it a bit cooler and in the shadow. Then, in the Mekong Delta, I went on a tour. Like, I just went on a 2-day tour in the Mekong Delta area, and we were like put on a boat and given the traditional hats. So I have one picture with the traditional hat. It's cute. A couple took it for me. They were also on the tour. The little hat. A little hat. Some trees. Here in the south, all the mountains are gone. The mountains and the amazing nature. Like, the nature is still nice, but it's not as good as in the north. Then in the Mekong Delta, you also have the floating markets. Oh, this is actually my last picture, apparently. You have the floating markets. And basically, the floating markets by now are just a bit touristy. Apparently, they wouldn't exist anymore if it weren't for tourists. But it was still very nice to see, because this was the way they used to, like, people buy here in big volumes. So if you have like a shop on the street, you would buy food here on the market and then bring it to the shop on the street, and then they will, I think maybe even different, like maybe the shop on the street will buy from the people that buy from the floating market or something. I don't know. It was really cool though, the floating market, because I got like a coffee and a banh mi sandwich made and on the water. It was so cool. Yeah, and I took some pictures in the Netherlands to fill the camera roll. I'll skip those. You will very quickly look in my book with Polaroids if there's something I want to show you. I'll just show you two of my favorites. This was on the Hajang Loop. And the Hajang Loop is near a town, Hajang, in the north of Vietnam. And it's very popular for tourists nowadays to go there to have like a multiple day motorcycle trip. You'll go on the back of on the motorbike of a driver, and you get toured around. And I went there with a little club. We had a tour with 6 people. It was amazing. This was like also one of the highlights. I think I have 3 highlights. One being just Hajang Loop. One, I think, was the 2-day cruise in Halong Bay, and then the week that my boyfriend came by was super nice. And the rest was amazing too, of course, but this was so cool. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This was so cool. And during the Hajang Loop, there was this really nice moment where, actually I won't show you. There was a really nice moment that there were some local people that were clearly at a very touristy spot where, like, the grown-up women, they were all wearing the traditional colorful clothes, and the younger girls, they would braid your hair if you paid them, which is a bit problematic because the girls should be going to school, but it was of course very cute. And I saw like this mom, and she was holding her kid, and they were all wearing the bright clothes, and she was holding 2 kids actually. She had one kid on her back in like a bag, and then one kid in her arms, and I asked her if I could take a picture, so I took one, together looking at the pictures and talking to me. It was so sweet. Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice. So, anyways, it's 12 a.m. It's time for me to go to bed. I'm happy I filmed though. I think I'll do the electrostatics. 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 Nice. I'll do those next week, maybe. And for now, I will stop. So thanks a lot for watching. If you're still here, please leave